It's so easy to be like, I want to be a writer, I'm gonna be a writer, and then not do that. And so I was like, okay, I really need to start making the time to sit down and do the things that I say I'm going to do. If you don't know me yet, my name is Danielle Langen. I am a writer and a poet. I have been writing since I was like literally a little tot in diapers. That's a story for another day. And I facilitate workshops and help people unearth their inner writer and really make their goals and dreams as a writer a priority. Today, I just wanted to get into a little bit of what I have done to make my writing a priority. For a long time, I wasn't, to be honest with you. Like, I really started writing for real when I was about 9 years old. That was when I first discovered poetry. I was writing before that, like in a journal, and I was knee deep in the Babysitter's Club series, if you know what that is. And so I was like trying to write my own series as well. But I really fell in love with poetry when I was 9 years old, and I was like, holy shit, I love writing. I was published for the first time when I was 9. It sucked, I'm not gonna lie to you. Not a great poem. Great poem for a 9-year-old, okay? But looking back, I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, so then I wrote as a teenager just as a way to kind of like express myself and heal what I was going through. And then same in my 20s, like my early 20s, my mid 20s. And then come my late 20s, I was like, okay, I want to be a writer. I want to make this my thing. Like I can't breathe if I'm not writing. I need to write. How do I make this more of a priority? So the first thing I did, I have notes because I'm very pregnant right now and I have pregnancy brain and I will forget everything I want to tell you if I don't write it down. So the first thing I did was connect to a writing community, both online and in person. I think that if you are a writer or poet, you already know that there's a pretty big space for writers on things like Instagram and somewhat YouTube and like Substack and things like that. So it's pretty easy to connect with other people online. But I also started connecting with people outside of the interwebs, if you will. And that really propelled me forward. What that looked like for me was going to open mics, and I did not participate at first. I just sat and watched other people. And then eventually going to my first residency, which snowballed into other ways that I connected offline to other people, but I'll get to that in a minute. The second thing that I did was really started to make time to write. It's so easy to be like, I wanna be a writer, I'm gonna be a writer, and then not do that. And so I was like, okay, I really need to start making the time to sit down and do the things that I say I'm going to do. Even if it gets overwhelming, even if it gets hard, even if I feel like I can't do this, like even if it's only a few times a month or a few times a year, honestly, I need to just make that time, because if I don't, like, how am I ever going to be the thing that I say that I want to be? The next thing I did, and I really think that this was the most important thing for me, it opened me up in ways that I cannot even begin to express, was apply for my first writing residency. I got this ad for a residency in France, and I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna apply. Never in a million years did I think that I would be accepted. I applied for the hell of it, and I really applied because I was like, if I apply to this, I'm showing myself that I want to do this, that I want to be a writer. I was not expecting to be accepted. Like, that was not even part of it for me. I really just wanted to take that 30 minutes out of my day to apply and talk about who I was as a writer and press send. That was it. And then a year later, I get the letter that I was accepted, and I was just like over the moon. I cried. I cried a lot. I sobbed, okay? Like, I was just like, I can't believe this. And something about that shifted me. Something about being accepted to this incredible, beautiful residency, going to the residency, making my writing the only priority I had for 2 weeks, being in this community of really beautiful people, it shifted my mindset. And it no longer felt like I'm not capable of things as a writer and poet. It felt like, oh no, I'm capable of things as a writer and poet, and I will do them and I will get them done. I'm worthy enough for it. I am valuable. My writing is decent. My writing is good. I can call myself a good writer. I can work on my craft and become a better writer and feel confident in that. Like, I'm telling you, something about it just completely shifted me. And it changed the way that I show up online and in person for other things as well. Like I started being like, okay, I'm gonna go to open mics and actually get on the stage. And yeah, it was absolutely mind blowing. I can talk about just that experience like for days. And then the most important thing that I did, like truly the most important thing that I did, was I stopped saying that I write for a hobby. I stopped saying that I was an aspiring writer. I stopped saying that this was just something I did for fun. And when people asked me, I would just say, I'm a writer. I'm a poet. Period. Like that's it. Full stop. And that little shift really opened me up as well too, because it's a lot different of a feeling than saying, I just write for fun, or I just write as a hobby. So if you want me to go any deeper into any of these, please let me know. I'm happy to make more videos about each of these points, but I hope that you will take something away from this for your own writing journey as well, whether that's to put yourself out there and go find an in-person community or an online community to get on stage and do open mics, to apply for your first residency, or to stop saying that you're an aspiring writer who does it for a hobby and to just actually say the thing. Say what you are, say who you are, declare it. And if you want to follow my writing journey, I would be absolutely honored. I post on my Substack, I post poems and personal essays, and I also have a really beautiful and thriving writing community over there. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, if you have any questions or are inspired in any way, please leave a comment. I read every single one, and I'll talk to you soon. See you on the next page.